Hey souls, welcome back to Vega Astrology. Today we will be talking about the Mercury in Taurus. Mercury in astrology represents our communication style. It's the way that we process information, the way that we deliver information, and just it's how we learn. In a more esoteric sense, Mercury can represent the bridge of communication between the soul and the personality. Mercury plays a huge role in the way that we communicate with others, and also just our talking style, like the way that we talk. When we bring the planet of intellect into the stable earth sign of Taurus, this actually can slow things down. Mercury is the fastest moving planet. People like to rag on Tauruses, saying they're slow, they're lazy. The thing about it is not only does Taurus slow Mercury down, but it makes it more precise and deliberate. So I actually can't hide this. I don't like to publicly say my placements, but this one, obviously I'm communicating with you right now, so it's something that I can't hide. So you're going to know right away that my Mercury is in Taurus because of the way that I communicate. It's something that is, if you have a Mercury in Taurus, you may speak slower. You know, it depends on what else is happening around your Mercury. Some people are funny and they're like, I gotta talk really slow for you guys to understand, for you guys to learn. You may learn information a little bit slower than maybe the next person. But once you retain the information, you really understand it on a very deep level. Mercury and Taurus people are very deliberate in their thoughts and in their communication. Mercury and Taurus people are the least complicated Mercury sign. So a Mercury in Taurus person, say they like to have a conversation that progresses evenly from point A to B to C to D. Say they're having a conversation with someone who may have a Mercury in Gemini, where that energy is more sporadic. It's spread out, it's all over the place. And they're talking to someone who goes from point A to G to B to Z back to F again. This is something that's going to be highly uncomfortable for a Mercury in Taurus person. So if you're someone that has a Mercury in Taurus, you may find yourself very irritated by very fiery displays of intellect. You know, if someone is talking all over the place, they're talking really fast, they're like, you know what I mean? Like, the people that you may meet that may just have like they have like faster processing skills, if that makes sense. Not in a way where you're slow or less intelligent, but like their ability to process large amounts of information all at the same time are at like a higher capacity. It can be very uncomfortable to talk to those people because it's like, slow down. Like, while you're trying to understand the point they just made and let that process, it's like they're already on to the next point. The thing about this placement, and this is something that is very interesting, this is the upside to having a Mercury in Taurus. The upside to having a Mercury in Taurus is the fact that you are very controlled in your speech. You're very controlled in the way that you communicate, and you're very deliberate. So Mercury and Taurus people are not the people that can be pressured or rushed intellectually. Say like a Mercury and Taurus placement is speaking to a really fast talking, Mercury. So say they're talking to someone and the person's intent is to confuse you. Someone can love bomb you with information. They can talk really fast. They can move from subject to subject to confuse you, maybe to get you to reveal information that you may not be comfortable with revealing, or just information that's really none of their business. But a Mercury in Taurus person will slow down and be like, wait a minute, what's happening? What just happened? there is no pressure for a Mercury and Taurus person to like keep up. There's no pressure for them to hurry up and try to match the pace intellectually with another person. They take their time intellectually. And this is especially powerful in interviews, you know. So Janet Jackson, for example, I think she's a Taurus sun, but she also is a Mercury in Taurus as well. And when you watch a Janet Jackson interview, the way that she controls the room, it's like she controls the energy of the room. So when she's asked a question, there's actually power in silence. There's power in taking time to think about what it is that you are going to say. You know, I've seen interviews of people and the interviewer is pretty much running the show. You know, we have these interviews where the interviewer may be interrogating the interviewee. They may be throwing questions at them left and right to, you know, get them to react or get them to say something that they feel comfortable saying. Say if they want to make a headline, for example. Well, the thing about it is when you can deliberately take time to think about what it is you're going to say, which Mercury and Taurus people really don't have a choice. It's not something that they intentionally do. I think a Mercury and Taurus person really has to sit there and process information before they speak. And it's a slower process. And so the process of them saying, okay, you know, what I say, does it make sense? Does it add value? The planet of Venus rules our values. It rules our skill sets and our values. So having a Venus ruled Mercury is like, how can I add value? Like what I'm saying, does it make sense? The things that you say, I think it resonates well because it is so well thought out. It's definitely not something that is hot air. You know, there are other Mercury signs and other placements that can contribute to having this feeling of hot air when they speak, but this is not the case for Mercury and Taurus people. There is a certain level of power that comes with being able to move at your own pace intellectually. Being able to stop and say, let me think about that for a second. You are actually controlling the vibration of the room when you do that. It also builds tension with what you're about to say. You may, as a Mercury and Taurus person, you may not have like a very explosive voice, you know, unless it's conjunct maybe Mars, which even then Mars is debilitated in Taurus. If you're someone who you have you may be more soft-spoken. You may be more Venusian in the way that you use your voice. You can use your voice to, which shout out to Astro Finesse, because he said this. Shout out to Astro Finesse. But this was a great point that he made, which was that you can use your voice to make money. So say you can get on the mic and do like the ASMR, you know, or something like that. You can be like Morgan Freeman is a Mercury and Taurus. Morgan Freeman literally does voice narrations. This Mercury placement is very realistic. It's grounded in matter. So they are not easily bamboozled or easily confused. A lot of times a Mercury and Taurus is going to be like, a Mercury and Taurus person will look at the facts. Like, Mercury in Taurus is a great placement for looking at cold hard facts. Like, what is the actual case of what's happening? Definitely not clouded by delusion or, you know, it's unless you have Mercury conjunct Neptune, then that does switch things up. But for the most part, if the math isn't mathing, it's just not working. Like the math has to math for a Mercury and Taurus. Things have to make sense. Mercury and Taurus is like a stubborn ass. Like, the thing about it is when it comes to the stubborn nature of Mercury and Taurus, the stubborn nature, I do believe that Mercury and Taurus people take so long to come to the conclusions. They really do take time to come to the conclusions that they come up to. So if a Mercury and Taurus person has been meditating on a new philosophy, a new concept, an idea, something that they want to do in their life, they will take as much time as they need to form that opinion. So once that opinion has already been formed and they've done the work to decide, okay, this is my opinion, it's very difficult for them to change their opinion. Like, it would take something groundbreaking for them to release their old opinion and to accept a new one, because they were so deliberate and so focused in forming the opinion to begin with. So it's not like someone who may have formed an opinion based off of something superficial. Mercury in Taurus is a type of person to form an opinion off of like of cold hard facts and something substantial. And so that is the reason why they may be more stubborn with their ideas. If you're someone who maybe wants to write a book or someone who wants to finish something long term, the Mercury in Taurus placement is really great for endurance, and it's great for actually following through to completion. So your mind is for the long haul. Like, you're thinking of things for the long haul, and it's not necessarily a placement that seeks immediate gratification. Not saying that we don't love it. You know, we love gratification, but it's more of that long term, let me work diligently toward this goal. Mercury in Taurus people may be really drawn to art. So this is a person that may sit there and they might be at a cafe and they're looking at the furniture and they're just like, oh, I love that, you know, I love the textile in here, or I love that fabric, or I love that chandelier. Like, they're very aware of the beauty around them. And so they are definitely the types of people to really appreciate art, really appreciate the, you know, the atmosphere, like a comfortable aesthetic. They like to be in peace and in solitude. So that concludes our Mercury in Taurus video. So we are uploading weekly to this channel every Sunday. I'm really going off of the top of my head with, you know, different videos that I'd like to record. So if you have something specifically you want me to talk about, I do take video requests, and I'm more than happy to do a video for you guys. And I also take readings in the description below. I have 8 different readings below, so you can click through to my Etsy shop. I also sell spiritual products, ritual oils, and things like that. So if you're interested, click the link, visit the link in my bio, and stay tuned for the next one. I keep saying Mars. Sorry, I keep saying Mars instead of Mercury because I just recorded the Mars video. So a Mars... I drank 32 ounces of coffee in like one day. When did you guys first realize you were addicted to coffee? I had a caffeine attack last night.